I'm sorry we don't have a fancy opening like on Fight World. That'll change
That's
at some point.
that's what happens when it's on that.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, it's Tony, Malik, and Brandon coming at you in another week of Spot Monkey Radio. A lot has happened in this week, and I'm sure we have a lot to say.
We have a lot to cover from everything that happened this week, and then everything that's happened in the 2 weeks since.
Yeah, so turns out we'll start right at the top, right? Turns out Vince McMahon's pretty perverted.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy is like 77 years old, and still works out. I can imagine it takes a lot to get him going.
Apparently, he's got to shit on people's heads.
Yo, this just shows you always pay your half of the NDA.
I mean, Jesus Christ! Listen, I always kind of assumed Vince was like his character.
Oh yeah,
I didn't realize it was so close. I just thought it was kind of extension.
Oh, you didn't realize it was much worse?
Yeah,
than it actually was.
I will say that the best part of all this was the memes.
Oh God,
that have come from it.
Oh God,
like the penis.
That one, the images of the dildos as whatever superstar.
I had the wrestling gear.
The George the Animal Steel one.
Oh, it was real funny.
Out of pocket.
Oh my God. Are you surprised about this at all, guys?
Some of it I am.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that this gets out. Like
Vince
John is very much on his shit, like legally.
Now John Laurinaitis is
Dude, it goes deeper than that. There's people that were anonymously named in the filings, such as a corporate officer number 1. I wonder who that could be.
Corporate officer number 1.
Yeah.
You're not just straight up accusing the game Triple H of some felonious activity.
I don't want to believe that he's part of it.
Yeah.
But you never know at this point. I just want to look at the positive. I don't okay? That's
people power. People power.
So Janelle, why don't you come over and suck my cock?
I think one of the most wild ones has to be related to Brock Lesnar.
Yo, they reduced his merch down to $9. They said there's no plans to bring him back in the future.
At least until any of this shit blows over, because like I said, this is just like there has been no
style.
Yeah.
No.
Like at this point, Vince's name will never be mentioned on WWE television again. I don't think,
unless he's like totally exonerated of this, because this is just a civil suit. There's no criminal charges yet.
When they interviewed the boss lady at Netflix, she was basically just like, they asked her about Vince, and she was just like, well, proceeding, he's not going to be around anymore, so he's not a part of it, so we're not worried.
Here's your $5 billion check, TKO.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, man. So can I? Because I didn't really get privy to this, and this will just transition right to, because I don't want to spend too much time on that. That's fucking crazy. But you know what? In pro wrestling nowadays, nothing shocks me. So that coming out about Vince, after seeing what he has done over the years, I'm not really surprised.
And I'm not trying to sit down and read 67 pages of craziness.
Exactly. So
it's not for me, brother.
Yeah, but how did The Rock become CEO or whatever it was of TKO?
The board of directors at TKO?
Yeah, how did this happen?
I'd be very honest. I just feel like it just came out of nowhere.
It did, right?
I think they needed a heavyweight for the board to sit on the board, and doesn't get
because now little by little it's become a distraction. If you notice, we are separating. The Rock has managed to find a way to separate what's going on with Vince McMahon to make you to remind you of what's going on in the wrestling world.
Yeah,
here I am. I am now one of the board of directors, and not only am I one of the board of directors, but I'm potentially teasing putting myself in the main event of WrestleMania.
Oh no, that's happening.
I'm saying it as potentially solely because I don't want to put the cart before the horse. Now, do I believe that he may very well be in the main event? Yeah, because one part of the star power is injured, which was CM Punk, and I'm pretty sure he was gonna win the Elimination Chamber to face Rollins and go on to night one of Mania to possibly main event Mania. I know he was gonna win? No. They made the right decision by Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble, and my point of view. But for him to go for the title that was just created almost a year ago is stupid.
I feel like they should have just done what I said. Had The Rock come out at number 30 and just be in the Rumbles, because the way this is just literally Cody, we know you want to finish the story and all, but listen, The Rock, it's The Rock, so go fight for the other belt, and it's just you built this thing up for almost 2 years now, longer. It's been built up, and everybody, like I said, they should have done this last year. I knew it's like the Super Bowl, man. One team gets there, you don't know if they'll ever get back. So I just felt like what they did with what they're doing with Cody now, where he's like, "Oh, I'm coming for you," but not at WrestleMania. You couldn't make it clearer that he's just going to do it at SummerSlam now. First off,
it's just so incredibly forced.
It forced, and it was awkward when The Rock came in and hugged him. It was just like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
you basically just told the world, well, this is what they want, so here's the main event for WrestleMania, guys. And I'm just gonna go fight Seth Rollins again for the 15th time.
And you got more than one. So it's a very interesting thing that's going on. I don't know what was the reason as to why Logan Paul and The Rock had a falling out, but I was just like, it's more interesting to see other wrestlers putting hashtag We Want Cody.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing too. That video, apparently in 10 hours, was the most disliked WWE video.
157,000 dislikes.
It's more than that now. It's
like more than our channel has subscribers, and
it's still growing.
Yeah, no, so many people dislike it, but because I feel like that's 4 years too late.
I've read some of the comments. People are saying stop. People are saying stop posting. Yeah. People are saying we want Cody. People are saying I ordered a Cody Rhodes t-shirt, but somehow I managed with the Blu-ray of Black Adam. There are more things that people because he's coming in and just destroying everything. And they said in the new 2K game that when you get it and you go to do My Rise, it just so happens that The Rock comes to your house and he turns off your console. It's really getting out of pocket.
Apparently, from what the scuttlebutt says, is Dwayne heavily pushed for this match. He wants this. And when you're on the board of directors, you tend to get what you want.
I understand that, but it's just I think this match is
it's definitely selfish of him to not realize hey,
you got to see what's going on here. They built a really good story here.
The most over babyface they've had.
Yeah,
in years.
I can't even remember who was somebody who was this a pure.
And just
yeah,
and they have it's so blatant.
Yeah,
the push to the side. Don't worry, we know you. Don't worry.
I just feel like if it was me and we were going to do this, I still don't understand the logic of how The Rock gets a title shot. I don't want to hear it's The Rock because that's not a good enough excuse for me.
I agree.
But then I was just like, my logic there is flawed because I'm saying to myself, well, you got night one, Rock and Roman as the main event, and then whoever wins faces Cody. And clearly to me, Roman would have to beat The Rock.
But The Rock gets nothing out of this. The Rock ain't going to stick around once he beat that. This is the thing I'm seeing because Rock's in his 50s, right? Rock's old.
Yeah, at least 50.
He's not young.
51.
And he's got so much on his plate, so it's not like he's going to devote, he's not going to carve out 2 years.
You got your energy drink. You got your football league.
Tremana.
You have you're now the board of directors of TKO. You got your $7 production. You have a lot on your plate. You are wealthy beyond belief. You don't need to be the WWE champion.
No, they took this one from Cody, man. I feel for Cody, and you could just see it in his face how disappointed he was because the story was there.
Yeah, because right now there is no adrenaline in his soul, and everything is out of control for him.
He's not going to do it to get us off our feet now. You see?
Hope you guys saw what I did there. That was a dad joke.
Yeah, no, but now I don't even know what's going on. I did see briefly on SmackDown the Bayley and like they turned on her. It was so obvious what they were doing there.
So obvious.
Actually, I actually enjoyed how they did the whole segment and everything.
Where she talked in Japanese and stuff.
Where she came out, she spoke in Japanese. She obviously knew everything that was being said. Right. I was like, if Tony Khan really does not sign Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, whatever you want to call her, her coming out to the rescue if Bayley does win the title, whichever night they do that match, that would be the perfect time to reunite them and for her to make a comeback.
I guess so. What the fuck you need her for?
I mean, not that you would care, Tony. But
I mean, not in the least.
I'm just saying. Man. And then for me, I'm just like, if Rollins is good to go, who does he face? McIntyre, Gunther? Because if he's really facing Cody, I'll be like, shit, man.
Yeah. Now, can we just finally agree on this podcast that CM Punk is made of glass at this point?
It's probably, like I said before, it's probably not a good idea to take 7 years off of a extremely high impact athletic endeavor. Yeah, he went to go train MMA, which is arguably just as high impact, but 7 years at 45.
He was in AEW. He got severely injured twice.
You got to look at it. He debuted in August of 21. From August of 21 to probably about the spring of 22, he was fine. Then he hurts his foot jumping into the crowd.
Yep.
Then you do the brawl out stuff where he tore his pec. That was another year.
Okay.
Like that's already 2 major injuries in the span of a year.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's just he tore this elbow, right?
It's triceps, yeah.
Triceps. So this guy's getting hurt all the time. Yeah. All the time.
Yeah. But yeah, it's probably wasn't the best idea to take off, 7 years when you're, 40.
You were nice guy, it couldn't happen.
Yeah. It sucks. It sucks
because I wish injury. I never wish injury on anybody, but like it's just so funny that this guy was doing. To me, this whole "I'm home," I'll never get behind it because it's all bullshit. He talks so much shit about WWE.
Yeah,
so much shit. This was clearly a money grab, clearly a move out of spite because the AEW thing went sour so quickly. I mean, like you said, in August of 2021, he was crying at a press conference. My footage is with Tony Khan. I'm so happy that it's getting profit off it. I hate it. This fucking so irritating. And I'm glad that like karma's a bitch, and nothing seems to work out for that guy. Like he doesn't really. I think he thinks he's gonna walk in and turn things to gold, and it just seems to turn to shit every single time.
Very
at least
quickly. Like there's a great moment that he comes back. Yeah, he's back. He's back. Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Then Drew McIntyre happens.
Yeah, so I just find it funny.
For this.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it's like multi-months, right? He's out.
He's going to be out for probably the rest of the year, yeah.
I don't see him coming back to possibly around SummerSlam time, maybe give or take. Maybe
that's a stretch, too, because...
I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back at the Royal Rumble and wins that year.
Yeah, they just redo it again.
Just run it back. Was he supposed to win, do you think?
I don't think he was supposed to win. I'm having a hard time believing he was supposed to win. Because you saw...
an audible being called because
saw right away though when he got hurt.
Yeah, Drew hits him with the future shock. He grabs his arm and then he rolls over to the referee.
I saw that. I said, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, no.
I saw that. I thought he said, "I'm hurt." I thought he said that. I'm like,
yeah.
No way.
And then the fact that him rolling over to the referees was just like, "Oh, I'm hurt. I can't do this. We need to call an audible."
Well, that's fucking crazy. I mean,
I think it was probably going to be him and Cody as the last two anyway. And they're just like, okay.
Like, it was crazy enough how we saw, I was like, the Final Four, and I was just like, damn, Cody threw you out again, Gunther? I was like, shit.
Gunther. Who do you think Gunther's going to fight now? What's that setting up?
He got to defend the IC title.
Man.
My logic was he were to fight in Australia against Jey Uso if they were to book that within these next couple of weeks because that premium live event happens at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the
5
morning.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, as I was saying, 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's
That's Money in the Bank, right?
No, that's Elimination Chamber.
The elimination.
Oh, okay, Elimination Chamber.
Like I said jokingly to somebody there, I said, since you made mention Money in the Bank, I said, I think Damian Priest is going to be the first guy where it expires because it is so much wasted time.
He just
Yeah.
forgets that it's only a year.
Yeah, he's just going to have it, and it's going to be the last day to be like, oh, I guess, well, we got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
You want to compare? Since you were, the holder of Money in the Bank for an entire year, and you failed to cash in, maybe you would
I just think they would have been so funny if Cody would have had his moment and then he cashes in and takes it. Then you could have ran that for a while.
Yeah.
That'd have been pretty cool.
Shit, right.
I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This whole thing with The Rock just kind of puts a monkey wrench in your whole plans.
And
it really derailed them. Real for real. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, The Rock, because The Rock, too, is injury. Like, when he fought Cena, he tore his abs. It's happened before. So I just don't know why you would.
He hasn't had a real match in over a decade now.
And the fact that, like, the belt means nothing to that storyline. Like, it's the head of the table shit. You could have done that with the bloodline, like I said, a year and a half ago. But he was too busy.
Realistically, we feel like obviously the last two WrestleManias should have been around the time where this happened. Hollywood was the most appropriate place for this match to take place.
For real.
And it would have had Roman as the winner.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because it would have been. I mean, he already passed the torch to Cena, so it's like.
But it would have been difficult solely because at the time they only had one title.
Yeah, but my confusion with this whole thing is like the way they're setting it up is like Rock can't lose to Roman because Rock's got to be like the head of the table. That's the whole moniker thing that he's going after.
Does he have to be the head of the table?
I don't know. But I'm saying that's the only thing they're going to take from him because he doesn't need the belt.
Do we really believe he's going to be that greedy to become the champion? Because now I'm like, all right, you're going to get money as a talent and you're going to get money as a board of director. Like, what the fuck?
It's also true that I keep thinking in my head, like, putting the belt on him means nothing. It means nothing. So if he won the belt and take it from Roman, it means nothing. But if Roman beats him, it also means nothing. The guy, he's never been around. So it's like the Roman has proven to be the head of the table because he's beaten every challenge they put in front of him. So to just sit here and just assume that The Rock's going to waltz in and kick him, put him in his place. How many guys have tried? Brock Lesnar tried.
Twice.
Twice. That's all I'm saying is Roman has proven his worth in terms of being the head of the table. So to take the belt means nothing. And if Roman beats him, he gets nothing out of it. So it's literally just to appease either an ego or to assume that it was going to be there's going to be a big money match.
It's going to draw so much money.
Yeah, and it fell flat on its face.
Yeah. I don't think WrestleMania is having any trouble selling tickets, so I don't think that.
So they would have had no issues.
There's got to be like crossover appeal, like the people that
I'm telling you, Cody, Roman, and it could have even been Seth. You could have done something with Seth with the world title if Punk couldn't go. I'm sure you could have figured something out there, and you would have still sold out. You would have still sold out. Are they still doing multiple nights?
Yeah,
still doing.
It's still 2 nights. I'm very thankful New Japan was like, now one night. And I think they also went back to one night solely because they no longer have been able to sell out the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, hopefully WWE gets the fucking hit and does the same thing.
That's just my thought.
No, WWE won't because both nights sell, so they're going to.
That's crazy, man.
A homegirl of mine wants to get tickets. I said, you're not wasting money on this.
First off, you're going to go to
live from my living room.
Yeah, first off, you would go to fucking Lincoln Financial Field in fucking, was it April, right?
Yeah.
You'll freeze your ass off.
It's going to be cold.
Yeah, freeze your ass off.
They also finally learned their lesson.
What is it, MetLife, and it started snowing?
No, the last time they did it at MetLife was 2019, and the show wasn't over with until like 12:30.
Yeah, people got pissed that they had to go home.
Not even that they got pissed. There was no New Jersey transit.
Yeah.
So people were like fucking stranded outside of MetLife.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Well, they got to pay big bucks for an Uber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you go to that one, Malik?
No, I went to the one in 2013 when they went to MetLife. And thankfully, we were with a... This is horrible. We were with, at the time, there was acquaintance that just so happened to be blind. So since she's considered special needs, we kind of piggybacked on her to get out of the venue for quicker.
Nice.
Yeah, I know it's terrible. It's horrible.
Not at all.
Do what you gotta do to get the hell out of there.
Sometimes you gotta exploit the system.
Yeah,
I get it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Me and my dad used my mom's handicap parking sticker for years.
Listen, my mother wants to go to Disney World. I said to my girl, I said, let's bring her to Disney World. We'll put her in a wheelchair. They'll move us to the front of the lines every single time.
Yeah.
She can't walk anyway, so we'll get to see everything, and we get to go up to the front of the line because she's in a wheelchair. I'm fine with it. Senior citizen, thank you, please, and thank you. She can't walk. Can't do it. What's this? Space Mountain? We're not going to go on that.
Woo! Oh, wait, not that space. My bad.
Oldest ride, longest line, right? Ric Flair. Woo! Sick bastard that he is. Did you see it?
That thing? I don't know if we're done with WWE talk yet, but.
Listen, as far as that's all that's only the thing they're pushing right now. There's no other matches set up for WrestleMania just yet.
No. There's only one match technically assigned for Mania. That's Bayley and Io. Everything else is a guessing game on what's what.
Yeah, because I assume Cody will come out on Raw.
Do you remember that it used to be Survivor Series that would pinpoint what would happen? Yeah. That's how you knew Brock Lesnar and Goldberg were going to face off at WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, that's how far back as they would go. They'd go they would start doing it sometime. I mean, listen, remember the Rock and Cena the next night? Rock said, "Next year I'll fight you."
Yes.
And they built it for a year, man. And it was very well built. Cena never went a week without saying some shit about The Rock.
Correct.
The Rock never went without saying something about him. It's just, like I said, it's so annoying now, how quickly they want to get through things. Because, it's proven that the long-term stuff, like the bloodline with Jey Uso and Roman at first, then going into the whole thing with Sami Zayn and the Uso and all, that whole long-term storyline, and then going right into finishing the story with Cody Rhodes is so good, but for some reason they still don't get it, and they still do these fucking real quick ones. I don't understand.
It's 100% a business thing. They believe that The Rock will probably generate more buzz than having Cody Rhodes. They want the full media attention and all this other stuff that's going to come with having The Rock on this show.
When everything went down on Friday, Cheyenne was like, major plot twist. And he didn't explain to me. We were on the radio. I don't know what happened. Maybe our radios died at that point. I came downstairs. I was like, what happened? He was like, the Rock and Roman were face to face. I was like, excuse me? I don't understand. So I needed to rush home when I was done with work to see what happened. And the audience was going crazy for The Rock. But my excuse was it was in Birmingham, Alabama. I said, how would they have reacted in LA, in New York, in Philly?
Would have been a mixed reaction.
In Chicago.
More booze than cheers.
I feel like I was like, even though they're going to be for Raw at Barclays, let The Rock and Roman Reigns appear on Raw, and I guarantee you, he's going to hear nothing but booze. I think.
I would say nothing but booze, but I think there'll be a smatter. They'll definitely start pumping the crowd noise to drown it out.
Some people feel that they're going to hijack the show in Philly.
I wouldn't be surprised if you hear more than a smattering of booze. I think because people think that this is a little played out. This is clear, like I said, this is clearly an ego thing. I've said it before.
And then
I'll say it again.
If you're doing this with Roman, what has the last 2 years been? If he doesn't break either Hogan's record or
he can't break Bruno's
record.
2 years.
Yeah.
He would have to be the champion for 4 more years to break Bruno's record.
But if he doesn't break the Hogan record, then what is all this for?
I don't even.
If he breaks the Hogan record, he has to go over 200 days.
He has to make it at least past SummerSlam.
Yeah, he has to make it past SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But I do like your idea though. Like if he fights Rock on night 1 and then Cody on night 2. But I just don't think the Roman Reigns contract dictates that. He's like, I'm only fighting 1 day. I'm not doing 2.
That's like literally the antithesis of his deal.
Yeah. So
I'm wrestling once this one.
But it's one of those things where even when Seth Rollins cut that promo, the stuff that he said kind of made sense. Like he's like that belt is kind of like a Hollywood belt. It's like it's mostly just a prop now for Roman. Comes 3 times, 4 times a year at best. He's like every couple of weeks he's on TV doing a promo. He's not really doesn't really fight. Doesn't do anything.
And he roasted him. He said, "You got the secondary title. That's not a big deal. You wear your wife's clothes." I was just like, Roman. I felt had some points too.
I agree with Roman. I did say this today in a conversation with somebody else that I felt like at some point during Seth Rollins' thing, he just started to like be like, "Well, it's working for you, Becky, so I think I might just dress like you," and then just started dressing like white because it made no sense to change over to that weird shit that he started wearing. That's all I'm saying. Never got it. I still don't get it with Seth Rollins. I know people love him, but I didn't understand it when he was Tyler Black. Don't get it when he's Seth Rollins. I just don't. I don't. I see another Edge. Like a guy who works hard, but will never really, because people will always remember Roman Reigns. There's always the 2 guys, that and they remember the one guy more than the other guy. Hogan and Macho Man. It's crazy to think that it's more Rock now than Austin to me, because we all always remember Austin over the Rock. But it's gonna be like this.
Would too, and they would also know that Austin would, if Austin was put in this particular situation, he's not gonna try to find his way to basically overshadow the title.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like to me, granted Vince isn't even there. I feel like if Vince was around, he would do this.
This stuff screams Vince McMahon move. This really does.
100%.
Like, oh yeah, the Rock's back. He's gonna fight for the title.
I can just even if this was Vince, I could imagine like him calling Cody to the office. Guess what? Great news, pal. Dwayne's back. And then a solitary tear goes down Cody Rhodes' face. Like, no.
Cody's like, why? I mean, I left to come back here because I was going to finish the story.
If I didn't want to be world champion, I could have just stayed in I
could have just stayed in the other
form.
Yeah,
especially considering the fact that he put that stupid ass stipulation.
Yeah.
If I lose, I don't get a title shot. It was like, well, you booked yourself in the fucking corner.
No. I've said that before. He handcuffed himself in AEW because even like towards the end of his run, you could tell people were just kind of sick of the shtick that Cody was doing.
But it's wild that he left AEW to become it's safe to say, one of the hottest stars, or the hottest star.
Oh, for sure.
Possibly being the next true face of the company.
He left AEW to become the baby face he always wanted to be.
Regardless, I think even the conversation, like I thought, regardless of what happens, the conversation that probably went down was Triple H was like, "I know I'm taking this from you now, but you're going to finish the story in the summer. We're just
putting a pause on this.
Yeah, you're going to finish it at SummerSlam. That's all. He's going to beat The Rock
in the stadium too.
Yeah, he's going to beat The Rock. He's going to have even more heat. People are going to want to hate him even more. And when you beat him in SummerSlam, and then SummerSlam will happen, and then The Rock will say, "I want my rematch," right? And then they'll push it back to Survivor Series, right? And then they'll just keep fucking this poor guy. And then he thinks he'll get at the Rumble. Right? I'm going to win the Rumble the 3rd time consecutively. Yeah. Oh no, guess what? CM Punk's coming back with that belt. We got to go with Seth Rollins and Cody. I just it's crazy what they did. I'd be furious if I was him.
Oh yeah, no. If I was Cody Rhodes, I'd be like, how much time is left on my contract? And then I'm calling up Tony Khan and be like,
oh, I wouldn't do that. I
didn't
listen.
Work. I'm coming back.
You guys, I'll take this world title just so I can have a notch on my belt. So I'll beat Seth Rollins with a belt. I also think like Seth Rollins, if that middle finger stuff was real, it's probably like when he heard that Punk got hurt, went, "Ooh yeah, I'll lose to Cody."
For me, like, all right, we're gonna do Rollins and Cody for the world title. You already beat him 3 pay-per-views in a row,
including
you even beat him with a torn pec. So that being said, you got to lose again at WrestleMania, Cody.
Yeah,
you don't get to beat Seth. That's my mindset.
But that wouldn't shock me if they did that, because this is not the story that he's supposed to finish. He's supposed to go after Roman. So if he loses to Seth, it's like, all right, he owes Seth that receipt. After those 3 pay-per-views in a row,
Cody legit Bret Hart to Hogan. His match before it even got to WrestleMania.
That's crazy. Isn't that crazy?
What the fuck?
I mean, that's very, very true. That is literally what they just did. They WrestleMania 9'd it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The Olay bullshit. Cody's like, well, you can have it. You're bigger than me. You can fight him. maybe you can end it. Like it's like
he didn't even have any salt in his eyes. There's salt in the wound.
Yeah, I know. That's very true, man. It's whew.
Just when you think it was a new regime and they go and pull the same old shit that they've been doing.
Yeah, kind of. Speaking of same old shit, what's going on in the rest of the world of wrestling, boys?
What do you think Tony Khan's big announcement is for Wednesday?
Okada.
Oh, please! I pray that it's not.
I think it is.
Well, it's probably like a fourth show that he's just launching on like a network that nobody cares about.
So it was really Okada.
It was really Okada. There was going to be so much disappointment in my heart.
I just think he has better relationships with the people in AEW than the people in WWE, so that's why it just makes more sense to me. And again, if he's going to go to WWE, WWE is going to want him in the United States full time. I don't think he's a guy who wants to live in the U.S. full time. I think.
So wait a minute. I didn't know all this. So he wants to stay in Japan?
Yes. I think because he has like a 2-year-old kid. I think his wife's like a voice actress. It would severely disrupt his lifestyle. Like,
how do you meet her on the set of his favorite anime?
I don't know. He was with for a while. He was with one of the hosts of like the Japanese equivalent of Good Morning America. Like she was like crazy. A major. She was.
What's crazy to me is the way they treat pro wrestlers out there like football players.
Yeah.
Like actual athletes.
Yeah.
Because what other sport is out there like sumo wrestling?
No, they have baseball. Yeah. They have baseball.
Yeah.
They have soccer. They have
baseball. It's true. They do have baseball. Are you happy about what's going on in baseball? We'll just quickly pivot back. What's going on with the Yankees?
I mean, I'm happy that they're making moves. It's a lot of the same old shit, though.
Yeah.
So
speaking of the same old shit, Tony Khan is going to make an announcement. Is going to be Okada. You're right. I think now that you said that he wants to stay in Japan, it wouldn't surprise me to sign a deal with AEW like part time and come down there.
It's the same with Ospreay. I think Ospreay didn't want to move to America. Same thing. He's got a young family. Doesn't want to like upset the apple cart. If he could just go over to the States a couple times a week, couple times a month.
All he has to do is wrestle on either Wednesdays or Saturdays, and he's good to go.
Yeah, he could still. Ospreay could still do Rev Pro. He could still do all the indie stuff that he's doing to like get the reps in, and then show up.
Sting is about to win his last championship.
Yeah,
and what, over a decade probably?
Yeah,
he's about to get back champion in AEW.
That's this month.
This Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's before his retirement match.
Which is his retirement match will be against the Young Bucks or Matt.
Where he will lose because that's a veteran like him knows you go out on your back.
Yeah.
Nah, screw it. Well, let's just let him go over, and they take the titles. That's that.
Knowing them, they'll do that because they always do tournaments. So it'd be like, yeah. Instead of just doing the right thing and just be like, listen, you know how it goes. You go out on your back, and you get up. You'll still get your farewell. Have Ric Flair turn on him, right? And be like, I was never on your side. Woo! I'm with the Young Bucks. Woo!
I could see that happening.
That could happen because what I read a couple months ago when there were people that thought that the Young Bucks were going to be a part of the Devil's crew. The Young Bucks are going to come back. They're coming back as heels, which we've already seen happening, and they're going to have their own faction essentially.
Managed by Ric Flair, kind of like a bootleg Evolution.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did in TNA with Fortune. Exactly. They're going to do the same thing. And we know what's going to happen. Well, make them a big surprise. Fucking MJF's going to be like, you thought I was leaving? I'm back. The devil. Man. Right? And then he'll be the face while Ric Flair goes, woo! Until he finally fucking croaks.
Except you want Jay Lethal to do a woo-off with.
Jay Lethal did some sick shit yesterday as a babyface. This guy, Wrecking Ball Legursky, took this little kid's sign and ripped it up, and she started crying. Like she was legitimately upset because it was on one side was Wrecking Ball, and on the other side was a Jay Lethal sign that he actually signed, and Wrecking Ball ripped it up. So she was hysterical crying. And as soon as that match ended, Jay Lethal came out. He's like, I saw he ripped that sign, so he signed a poster and he goes, and I'm going to give her my very last Jay Lethal T-shirt. He took it off, and I went like this to my girl. I go, spoiler. That's not the last Jay Lethal shirt.
It's sitting in a storage shed somewhere in central New Jersey.
That's a baby face move right there. That's the baby face move. That was good though. I like that, man. How you enjoying TNA wrestling? So are you watching it now that it's TNA again?
I still have all the episodes on my DVR. I've yet to have gotten to them.
It's still on TV. It's still on TV.
Yeah.
Left TV. It's just on a channel TNA? No one gets.
Well, I get the channel, so
well, it's on a channel.
What channel is it?
Access Television.
Okay.
Damn it! Why did I forget the name of the channel?
Access TV. I thought that channel was gone.
It's Access.
Because it's
TNA, and then afterwards they give New Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, they still do that, huh?
They give the most recent New Japan matches on there and everything.
Remember that when that was ROH in New Japan?
Yes.
I think
Access TV. I remember that.
I think one of the matches that I still need to see is Ospreay and Josh Alexander.
Is that from a pay-per-view?
Now we got Dolph Ziggler over there, and I think he's about to start feuding with Moose at some point.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler was definitely promised the title.
For sure.
They're like, come on over to TNA. Listen, they didn't make you champion there, but we'll make you champion here, brother. All right, you'll beat Moose, you'll have a whole thing, and then you'll fight Matt Cardona, because everybody wants to see that again.
That already happened on the Indies most recently. I think yesterday.
Yeah, it happened this weekend at GCW.
That's great. It's crazy to think that this guy's wrestling on the Indies now. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what, to me, it's like a fall from grace. He's wrestling in front of so many huge crowds, and then he walks out in front of that like fucking little theater crowd that fucking GCW has. And they're like, yeah, and he's like, what the fuck happened?
Hey man, paycheck clears all the same.
I know. Time passed me by. Here we go. Let's do this. Right?
Man, I had so much momentum 10 years ago, and then it went to shit.
Injuries.
To me, I don't think there's any major story of what's going on in AEW. I know there's supposed to be a number one contenders match between Hangman Adam Page up against Swerve Strickland. The winner will face Samoa Joe at the next pay-per-view, and I'm just like, why are we even having this match if Swerve already beat him twice?
Yeah.
But now Swerve is going to go about beating him for a third time, allegedly, without the help of the Mogul Embassy, which is Prince Nana, the Gates of Agony, and Brian Cage. And I'm just like, you're going to lose. You're like,
well, I think he basically created a self-fulfilling prophecy when he went on Chris Van Vliet's show and said he wants to be the first African-American AEW champion.
Yeah.
So they're just bringing that to light as soon as it was literally a brilliant move.
Like, unless the finish is going to be, both of them do a double pin or something and it has to turn into a triple threat match for the pay-per-view, I can see that happening. But I really feel in my heart that Hangman is most likely going to main event up against Samoa Joe. But that's not going to be the main event of the show, technically, because it's Sting's last match. Sting is closing the show.
Yeah, so that means Adam Page will fight fucking Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe will just beat him.
Yes.
It's just like, it's so uninteresting that everything you just told me just literally does not appeal or interest me in the least. I'm happy. I'm happy I've given it up. I feel like a proud smoker who's given up cigarettes.
Okay, AEW is not going to give you cancer. They're not really the same.
You don't know.
You don't know that, buddy. That is not proven. All right. Yeah.
I think we have enough data by now. The company's been in existence for 5 years. No one's gotten cancer just from watching AEW or being a part of the locker room. So
you're right. They have a cancer. It's called Chris Jericho.
Oh, that's terrible.
Wow.
What?
I never thought
you won't be at the Rock and Wrestling Rager next year.
No, never. I would never go on a boat if you paid me.
Did you see the clip of him dressed up as Bowie?
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, dude, you're 50, you're pushing 60. You see what's going on with Ric Flair and all these other guys. Start acting your age. They hold on for so long. It's one thing I've noticed, man. Even like I remember the first time when I said to myself about The Undertaker, it's time for you to hang it up. It was that match with fucking WrestleMania with the one where they had to carry him out. Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were saying they went with him and Triple H.
Carried him out, him and Triple H.
Okay, no, and then he fought him again, right?
Yes,
he fought Triple H again. Yeah, no, that was I'm talking about the Brock Lesnar one where he actually hurt him and he collapsed in the back or whatever.
Yeah, that was bad.
it was just like, dude, it's over. And then he comes back and he fights like Roman, and it was bad. It was just like, yo, man.
That was the Roman one for me. That was to me. Dude.
Yeah, it was like, yo, man, come on, dude. It's done. You're over with. And then I'll never forget I'll never forget it. It's like, you know that thing they say, like when someone tells you something about somebody and you don't realize until somebody says it, and you're like, oh my God, now I can't unsee it. That's all I see.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just never get the image out of my head of Shawn Michaels looking like a cancer patient cosplaying Triple H in that Saudi Arabia show where he was bald. And I was so like, what happened to the Heartbreak Kid? Like, it was just one of those things when I saw it, I was just like, my era of wrestling is dead. It's right here. And it was just like, God damn, it's over. It's over. And it's just like, I accepted it.
Like when people start going, like when people were upset, oh, there weren't any Legends of the Royal Rumble. I said, everybody's either dead or retired and they can't get in the ring anymore.
Yeah.
It is what it is now. Let it be.
You're talking like the only name that you now can start bringing back, like Dolph Ziggler, like that now down the road a couple of years from now, he might come back in a Rumble just to surprise people. Well,
technically he can now since he works for TNA.
That's what I'm saying. So
some type of work with them is not impossible.
I think that'd be the only way to surprise people. Is be like, no, the Royal Rumble for the first time ever is going to involve other companies like TNA. So now you're like, oh my God, who's going to be in it?
I mean, that's not first though. They used to do that in like the early '90s with like CMLL and AAA and stuff.
I mean, that's people don't remember
that's
that.
That's how we were introduced to Aguila
and Mel Mascaras.
And I'm pretty sure Carlos Colon did one too. Like,
yes, Carlos Colon was in the '93 Rumble.
Carlos Colon was in the '92 Royal Rumble.
I'll just never forget in a million years, 1996, when Dory Funk came out, and I'm like, this guy's gonna die in the ring. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's so old.
Dory Funk, Dick Murdoch came out.
Yeah.
One of the Rock and Roll Express, I can't remember who. I think it was probably Ricky Morton.
Probably.
Like I said, the only way you could surprise people is like if they do what I said, like they bring someone like Okada, where it's like a major name from another company that nobody knows about, like the mainstream WWE audience doesn't know about, but like the internet crowd knows. That's me the only way you could surprise people. Like you can't bring like
AJ Styles like 10 years ago too.
Also, with our era of wrestling had a lot of that hardcore bullshit. So a lot of these guys are like crippled. They just can't perform. Like Malik said, they just can't do it. So.
We're seeing I think Sabu officially announced that this year he's gonna wrestle his last match.
How many times?
Still wrestling.
It's because it's a job that doesn't have a 401k, man. They don't have a retirement plan.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? If that's all he knew. He didn't go to fucking school. He's not like an engineer. So when wrestling's done, he's like, all right, I'll just go into the family business.
I was like,
I have a college degree to rely on.
Like RVD is still wrestling. At least he doesn't look horrible.
Yeah.
No, but RVD too probably has enough money. He's probably just doing it because he wants to just extra cash. Yeah. But RVD is also living in a lifestyle that's like conducive to losing all his money very quick. So maybe that's why he's still going.
He has the guy does have revenue streams. He's got the weed. He's got. I'm probably sure he has a school by now. Like everybody has a school. Like that's the post wrestling career path.
Not even because now there's so many schools open, dude. They don't like. I mean, the real big ones now I'm noticing are Booker T's school.
Yes.
The Wild Samoan school is always pretty popular. Still go to.
Cody's got his school.
Cody's got his
Dustin's
school.
got his school.
Yeah, so there's like plenty of places to go. So to like for Rob Van Dam,
Seth has his school.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know. And they're not even there. They're just ran by other wrestlers that they know.
They lent their branding to it, and it's a place where they can go and train.
And train, yeah. I don't know, man. It's interesting.
Malachi Black has his own academy.
Yeah. He opened it up with Buddy Murphy, right, and somebody else,
and his wife. His wife helped too.
Okay, yeah. So hey, good for them. And because, like I said, you have to have a life after wrestling. You're just an independent contractor. Even WWE wrestlers, like
unless you're The Rock, who could parlay it into something bigger.
But the Rock parlayed it early. The Rock parlayed it while he was still a wrestling star, and then got out early before he got too late. That was the thing I was worried about. Like guys like Austin. Austin really didn't have a game plan. So Austin would have been one of those guys coming in the Rumble with bad knees, and you'd be like, Jesus Christ, this fall from grace, So it's like I'm glad that they started to smarten up. Like same thing with Cena. John Cena smartened up real quick, realized my career's got to parlay somewhere. I cannot.
TikTok.
I can't keep
TikTok. Like,
yeah.
He's wasting. John Cena pitch man.
He's saying in 3 years, that's it. By 50, he's done.
I'm worried about Randy Orton. How long does Randy Orton go?
He's got to be near the same age as Cena, at least.
Yeah. And at some point, he's got to hang it up.
He'll start the Orton Wrestling Academy.
That major back surgery is going to obviously take a toll, so he's got to be gone another 2-3 years.
Yeah, you know what wouldn't surprise me if Orton becomes like an agent for WWE, like a writer, becomes like a guy who works within the company.
Actually,
that
would
surprise me. He could never be out with the public, though.
Yeah.
Like how agents do things now, like you see Kenny Dystra, of all people, as an agent. You see Petey Williams.
Man.
Sometimes you would see Abyss. Like different guys that they have as the.
But I'm not. He'd probably be the guy that's at Gorilla with Triple H. Is what I'm saying. Like, Road Dogg is always next to Shawn at the NXT. That's kind of what I'm seeing for Orton at some point. Orton's gonna be like an assistant coach.
I think Bobby Roode is officially done, so he's an agent as well.
Yeah. You have to, like I said, those to me, that's the only way you could pivot when you get to WWE is become like an agent and then just work within the company.
Once they said Bobby Roode had 2 major neck surgeries, I was like, he's done.
Done, man. It's scary. Listen,
it's like, what happened to this person?
Yeah. Well, I see, like Roman Reigns, they said that he hasn't renewed his deal. So what is he going to do when it ends?
Start acting.
Yeah. I'm sure he's made plenty of money. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm sure
he'll go into Hollywood too.
I'm assuming that's the next route for him.
Definitely.
Yeah. I just don't know if he has that kind of like.
Well,
the Rock has this thing, you know, where he's like first, the Rock is built like a legit superhero. So there's like the Roman Reigns when he gets out, go like, yo, what do you want? I want to get on what you're on now that I'm not on the contract.
Testosterone replacement therapy. That's
and he just kind of just blows up and becomes like fucking the next shitty Hercules, like The Rock did.
Again, The Rock's path wasn't like a straight line either in Hollywood. The Rock did.
No, I mean he had to do Tooth Fairy. He had to do all that Disney deal that he had.
Terrible Disney deal that he did.
To me, his best movie for me is his role in what was it? It was part 2 to Get Shorty.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Where he played the gay bodyguard. He was great.
I also liked Faster, the first movie he did after he was done with the Disney deal.
And I reminded him of Walking Tall. So that was it for me.
Yeah, but once he became like, listen, just destroyed Black Adam. I fully blame him for the ending of the DC universe because he just completely shit canned it with his dumb movie, where he had to have certain things and it was in his contract that he can't lose. He can only tie with Superman. It's like, that doesn't work, pal. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know if you've read comic books, but this is
that's not how it's going to work, pal. Yeah, but now if they would have made him like Earth 2 Superman, where Superman is like black and shit, I would have bought that. I don't know why you didn't go for that. Why he had to be Black Adam.
Well, now he's pulling that power game in the wrestling world.
Yeah, no, he's basically like, listen, I'm it's DJ. That's how they call it.
The difference is here he can get away with it.
For sure. Yeah,
you got to remember, he's also like close friends with Nick Khan, so it's like shit.
I think Nick Khan also used to be his agent.
Yeah, they were very close. Listen, WWE is a whole new landscape, but like I said, you know what they always say: the more things change, the more they stay the same. So, while I'm surprised at the moves, I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
I mean, if you believe what Ronda Rousey says, as long as Bruce Pritchard is there, Vince is still has his hands.
Yeah, that was such a crazy tweet.
She's taken several blows to the head, so like, let's not treat everything she says as gospel.
Wait, what did she say?
I'm not doing that.
She said in a tweet that Bruce Pritchard was Vince's guy while that first time he was gone. So as long as Bruce Pritchard is still there, he's like the avatar of Vince.
Correct.
Wow.
But again,
well, maybe that's something.
She's got taken a few blows to the head.
Yeah. Maybe that's something to wrestle.
She clearly doesn't give a damn about her reputation.
No, she does not.
Listen, man, Bruce.
That was not the giant joke I was going for.
No, I got it.
Bruce Pritchard still works there, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Which I'm surprised because I'm like, all right, you got this guy resigned. Fucking. Who was the guy in production the entire time?
Kevin Dunn.
There you go, Kevin Dunn. He felt like he was no longer being respected and whatnot.
Wow, really?
And I was like, you've been there forever.
This is like watching football and watching a coach age out.
It's a little Belichickian, yeah.
Yeah,
like
it's like
right
watching.
Now, for me, the way I look at it is, I was like, Vince knew that he was going to get himself in legal issues. I believe. Now thinking about it.
Oh yeah, no. I think they all knew that this was coming down.
So it's almost like everything he worked for and built from the ground up, he is also self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
It reminds me of that great promo you showed me. I'm going to inject the WWF with a lethal dose of poison.
That's really what it is right now.
Pretty much what it is, man.
The truest words said some 22 years ago are now being lived out for real.
I'm going to kill my creation. Remember he said, that promo, man. Remember that day you put it on, Malik? I laughed so hard when he was crying. He's like, it's so fucking funny, man. And he's literally probably at home right now in his palatial mansion, looking in the mirror, doing that exact promo, right?
Doing curls.
If it's not that, it's the other one. Come on here, you rapist! That video keeps going around like crazy.
Yeah.
Like every, I was like, there's not a day I could escape somebody sending that to me. I was just like, yo, please stop.
Well, there's an entire generation of people that don't know him as Vince McMahon. They just know him as the meme face guy.
Yeah.
Like the reaction when his eyeballs are rolling in the back of his head, and
he's like, and ironically, he was objectifying a woman in the ring. Man.
yeah. Like I said, go to bring the ball back around again. None of this surprised me.
No, I'm not. I was like, oh yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
When I read this story, I was like, that tracks.
I was just surprised to the level of detail.
Yeah, that guy got crazy.
Like exactly what he was actually into.
That's what happens when you live a life where nobody says no to you.
Exactly, and you have $1 billion.
That's how it is, man. So it's sad. It is sad. We're gonna end this on this note, Malik. You're gonna come back to ref, and you did a great job yesterday.
Thank you.
You did a good job. I was very happy to see you back in the ring, reffing. I was happy to see Anthony there. I guess he was helping in the back.
Yes.
Stay in the locker room the whole time. So I'm happy to see those guys. I'm happy to see all you guys, man. It was good.
Is there going to be another show?
March 30th, Ace will be running again. So we'll be there. Yeah, it's nice to see. Mike does this. Kind of like just disappears and then reappears. It's like a magician. It's like weird, but I'm happy to see it. I'm happy that they're back. Anywho, that's all the time we have on this lovely Sunday evening. If you wanted to see Cody versus Roman, looks like you have to wait till SummerSlam.
Or next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has that kind of time to be waiting that long.
So, if you wanted to see The Rock versus Roman, and if you kind of called it, but your Royal Rumble prediction didn't come true, but you knew that Rock was going to somehow get on this WrestleMania because of that dumb little head of the table comment that he did on Raw. Well, you got your wish. So I hope you enjoy it. We'll see what happens as the weeks go on. I hope, these usually when wrestling really gets good. It's weird now I felt like the wind got taken out of the sails with that whole Rock thing.
Definitely.
Anyway, until next week.
An uphill climb this WrestleMania season to build because there's going to be resistance for a while.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. They'll just basically call Rock thief, like you stole Cody's spot or some dumb shit like that.
It'll be the "We Want Cody" chance.
I'm going to watch this NXT Premium Live event because I know at least The Rock won't hijack that and take the NXT title. I have nothing to worry about here.
Be careful, because if somebody says something about The Rock, he will go down here and lay the smackdown.
His daughter's in charge.
Yeah, he will lay the smack down.
And what's crazy is people are like, it's interesting how she's getting more airtime.
Yeah. Her dad is in charge now.
It's interesting how boring she is.
Hello, what is that called?
Nepotism.
Nepotism.
Yeah,
that's what's called.
She's a total nepo.
She's a nepo hire.
She's a total nepo baby. I'm sure she's 100%. A lovely person in real life, but
and you know what? Though, with all due respect, at one point so was Cody.
True.
So
At least
Dominic Mysterio was too, but Dominic Mysterio turned it into something good.
Exactly.
So, anywho, thanks for hanging out with us on a Sunday. We'll be back next week with some more wrestling talk.
Actually, we won't be. Yeah, well, who knows? Next week is the Superb Owl.
The Super Bowl.
All right, yeah. So, did you guys hear about that conspiracy theory that Travis Kelce's going to propose to Taylor Swift when they win? When they win,
it would be nice to watch football.
If that happens, I won't watch football anymore because I'll know it's a work. I'm saying it right now. It's a work. They worked us. They worked us, sons of bitches.
I don't think it's to that level. But.
Anyway, if you go, so it might not be next Sunday. It might be sometime next week. But anyway, enjoy the game if you're rooting for somebody. I don't really give a fuck who plays it.
Go gambling.
That's who Brandon's rooting for, his pockets.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't have any. That would require me to have money to actually bet.
Yeah. So enjoy it. Have fun. Until next time, that's Malik, Brandon, I'm Tony. This is Spot Monkey Radio. We don't have a fancy send-off until you're on.